I knew an old man once who had no teeth, but boy, could he play drums. You can lead a horse to water, but get him to lie down and float, and then you've really got something. Mary had a little lamb, and the doctors were amazed. These are just some of my mother's favorite non sequiturs. She actually claims that she saw this sign on a Calvary temple. Do you know what hell is? Come in and hear our organist. That I don't know if she saw this one or if I saw this one or together we made it up, but she insists that on a cinema way back when, like in the 50s, she saw Mother Wore Tights and other selected shorts. Once a friend of mine called a kid my mother really didn't like, and by the way, her assessments were always accurate. Years later, I would recognize this. She said this kid was a little shit, and he was awful. In any event, he made the mistake of asking my mother how she was doing, and she said, "Oh, Melvy." His name was Melvin. She loved torturing him by calling him Melvy. "Oh, Melvy, I'm dying." "You're dying, Mrs. Burner?" "Yes, Melvy, and I plan to continue on dying till I'm 126. She once told me that people are always saying to her, "Debbie, you always go your own way." And she turned to me and said, "David, whose way should I go?" My mother had a difficult and challenging life. She was a single parent, unmarried in an age and a milieu where the idea of an unmarried Orthodox Jewish woman was simply unthinkable. She suffered from being manic depressive due to a thyroid gland that would go hyper and hypo alternatively. She was endowed with a rare intelligence, entering university at 14 and leaving 2 years later with 2 degrees, or so the family mythology goes. She was a speed reader and devoured overnight the great works of literature that I started bringing home in my teens. She was also an iconoclast and a contrarian, qualities I've been proud to inherit and emulate. And although she was a Talmudic scholar and I grew up with her in my grandparents' Orthodox home, she broke every rule in the book, starting with introducing me to the glories of non-kosher food at restaurants when I was very young. Most of my friends adored her because she was so unlike any mother they knew and like any concept of mother on earth. She drove me crazy and she caused me considerable pain for a long time, as I'm sure I did her as well. But I loved her dearly, and my memories today of her all these years later are almost all delightful. They make me giggle. I wish she were still around. I would say things to make her laugh. Pickle. Parents and children are put on this earth to drive each other completely crazy and also to put each other in the aisles rolling with laughter.